Hey everyone, welcome to the Holtcast. I'm Jake Grimsey alongside Robert Lintott. We're back. It's been a little bit of a summer break for us, but came back at just the right time, I think, Robert. A lot of news around Villa.
Has anything happened since our last podcast?
I don't know. What day is it? It's Monday? Let's think. What was this past weekend? Friday, I think there was a friendly, but it ended scoreless.
Yeah, no,
It wasn't a lot of news.
I spent a couple of hours trying to convince Jack we didn't need to do a podcast. Nothing's happened in the past month, so I don't know. That's been the Holtcast today. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us how you really feel about Fabian Delph leaving, Robert.
God, I'm so torn. Because I've argued really passionately on the site and on Twitter and everywhere that I can that in terms of business deals, it's absolutely his right. I don't give a damn about loyalty. Loyalty isn't something that matters. But goddamn, to come out and say, no, I'm sticking with the club, and 6 days later stab us in the back, I find it hard to be rational about that. He's an asshole.
Yes, I think Tom Spee summed it up really well because he was his favorite player.
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't had a chance to read it, it's on 7500holt.com. Tom Jones. Fabian Delph, what have you become? It's an incredible piece, one of the best things we've run in a while. But, I mean, is there any way to rationally think about this and be okay with it, Jack?
I don't know. I kind of took the other stance because I thought Fabian Delph was going to be gone in January or sign a pre-contract with Liverpool or someone, and I was like, okay, if we can... Then we were going to sell him to Spurs for like $4 million or something stupid. But anyways, I thought he was gone, same as Vlar, who is gone, and we'll make fun of him later, but I don't know. I think if you can double your money to do the same job.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Except the thing is, he's going to end up on the bench. I don't know why he didn't sit down with Scott Sinclair.
He's probably not going to end up on the bench this year. He probably has the quality to start this year because they've
him alongside Yaya.
Yeah, I can't remember who was saying. Someone online pointed out, and my apologies for stealing this from someone, but they pointed out that Raheem is the big signing for them this year. They don't have another giant superstar signing in them this year. So Delph is their sort of stopgap, get some help in central midfield. Next
and
year,
get an English player into the squad because for $8 million that's a bargain. That's why they paid so much for Sterling, is because he's homegrown, he's English, and Delph also fits that.
Exactly.
Criteria.
And next summer when they have the money again, I mean they always have the money, but you know.
Yeah, but they still need to sell like Jacob before they can sign someone else big.
Yeah, when they have the money for another superstar signing, I think they get a central mid and bump Delph to the bench.
Yeah, I mean, unless Yaya Toure ends up going to Inter, because then it's kind of just him, Fernando, and Fernandinho in that City squad, because with Milner gone now.
Yeah, I think though you get at a good point. The only way to really come to terms with this deal in a way that's anything but rage and anger is to look at it from a financial standpoint.
And you pointed that out. You said look at him, look at his family. He can't play football forever. You know, if you even make it as a professional to age 33, I think you've done very well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at that point, you're hitting Grant Holt territory, and you know, getting sent out on loan from Norwich to Aston Villa. So, you know.
And speak of Norwich, their new kits just came out.
Yeah, if you're not online and you didn't see the new Norwich kits, do yourself a favor and put on some sunglasses and go take a look.
Yeah.
But yeah, Delph it's really interesting. Had he left, and a lot of people have said this is hardly an original thought. Had he left 2 Fridays ago, when we first heard the news, it would have been Godspeed, Fabian. You know, the thing in January was kind of dumb, but hey, whatever. But to then come back out and be like, no, I'm really here, and then be like, nope, screw you.
Yeah, more importantly was that statement.
Yeah, exactly. And it's worth noting, because I saw some people getting on Villa for that. That wasn't Villa's statement. That was Fabian's statement. That was, you know, what are Aston Villa going to do in a situation like that? Their star player says, I'm coming back. I want to make a statement. I want to tell everyone. Their job is to market that decision. So they put out the statement from the player. That wasn't an Aston Villa decision, and they really had no choice but to put it onto the website. So, you know, they look like shit because Fabian lied to everyone.
And it's unlucky that the captaincy slipped to Delph at this point, in retrospect.
Who do you think is the captain this year?
I don't know. I think you can make a last-ditch effort to captain Benteke. Another question is maybe you already spent his money.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I mean,
you have Kieran Clark.
Clark would be my first choice for captain.
Absolutely. I mean, in the future, we look at Gary Gardner, but obviously he's not ready yet. And I don't know. I think you could give it to Grealish.
Yeah, depending on what happens. But this moment,
maybe you need to save it for Grealish in case someone's trying to buy him in 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. At this moment, I think you give it to Clark, though.
I think so.
You know, he's the guy that goes in hard in a Leicester game and gets a red card because you pissed him off. He's a guy who will fight for the team and who really, because again, I'm never all that convinced that having the captaincy matters all that much, but for all of the intangible BS that goes into it, Clark has it all.
Don't give it to Gabby. Yeah. Remember when we gave Bent the captaincy?
Yep, absolutely. Gabby would try to put on the armband and somehow get it on his foot.
He'd go to like rubber band, kind of like shoot it to his teammate when he's running off the pitch, and it would end up in Rosie.
No. God. Yeah.
Oh my God! At the friendly, he was in on goal 3 times because Carlos Heel and him were great combining, and he blasted it over.
Yeah, absolutely. He's starting to finish like Emil Heskey, and that's not a good thing. We can get to this later, but I saw someone ask the really good question online: is Gabby even first team anymore? And that's a legit question, I think.
Well, if Benteke leaves, we only have him and Kozak.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know, we could see Callum Robinson get a chance.
Yeah, I think Callum Robinson has to get a chance this year simply because of depth issues. You know, if the season started today, Callum Robinson is on every single bench.
Yeah. Because Christian Benteke is probably leaving. What do we think? Liverpool?
Yeah, I mean that's what it looks like as of today. Although Brendan Rodgers would tell you he has no idea.
I hope he goes to United simply because I bet on them to win the league. And if he goes there, they'll win the league.
Yeah. Liverpool seems like a crap move for him. I think he's better than that. I was actually genuinely excited at the prospect of him going to United because I thought that was a club where he could do well.
At the same time, Liverpool seems like a decent stepping stone because just look at Suarez.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it could be the right point in his career to go there and then, I don't know, take a move the next year either to United. But it seems less likely that Liverpool would be willing to sell to United or Chelsea. The only out would be to the continent. So maybe, you'd go to Bayern or you'd go to Real.
Yeah. I don't know. And I guess my biggest issue with Liverpool is the fact that the fans don't seem to give a damn about him there.
Exactly. It's just they think he's terrible, even though he destroyed them multiple times. Almost every time he played them.
He's demonstrated his ability. He's demonstrated his ability against Liverpool. It's a fan base that made Mario Balotelli look like a villain, and that's just disgusting because Balotelli is a joy.
He never really got a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I could do without him going there, but whatever. It's $32.5 million, a little less than that, given that we have to put part of the sell-on fee to Genk.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them for putting that in the deal.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed it. You never think about those things after they've happened. But I enjoyed reading something about Charlie Austin and saying that QPR were looking to spend money with the sell-on, or with the money they got from the sale of Raheem Sterling. Wait, what?
Yeah, they got nearly $10 million.
Yeah, exactly. Just because of that sell-on fee. That's smart business.
That could save them if they sell Austin to a team like, I don't know, maybe Villa for 15. I think 15's a fair price for Austin, but if you got to be damn sure you get the right man to replace Benteke, because quite frankly, one player isn't going to be able to replace him.
Yeah, absolutely. And so striker is definitely one place where Villa need to do some work. But before we get to the needs, let's talk a little bit about what they've already done this summer. Good summer thus far from Sherwood, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, especially because Delph paid for himself.
Yeah.
He paid for his replacement. And Idrissa Gueye from Lille.
who looks to be fantastic. Everything I've read about him is great.
And he had his best season last year.
Exactly. And there was just an interview out with him today, not the one on the official site, a different one, saying that he knew that Southampton were chasing him. And he said, at Southampton, I was the third priority, whereas Aston Villa made it very clear they wanted me and they wanted me now, so I chose Aston Villa. That aggression in the market is exactly what Sherwood should be doing.
Oh, exactly. It's always better to get your business done earlier rather than later. Get the guys in for the friendlies. And although he just got here, according to official site's Instagram, today or yesterday with alongside Jordan Amavi, who we'll get to in a minute, it's good to get them in because we need them training for the last set of friendlies.
Exactly, and they've got plenty of friendlies left to get with the team here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But
although it's crazy to think that the season is less than 21 days away.
Yeah.
This short off season is junk.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I don't know. It's maybe two summer after the World Cup. It was a long season for all the guys at big clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, and you've still got people out on international break. Brad Guzan still has at least.
Who knows if he'll be back?
Yeah, he's got 2 matches left with the U.S. Because if they win, he's into the final. If they lose, he's into the third place game.
Yeah.
And Guzan has been performing lights out in the Gold Cup.
Exactly, that's what you want to see, and he's always been pretty good for the U.S.
Yeah, and
and generally he's always been pretty good for Villa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, until he had a little bit of a problem at the end of the year last year. But Tim Sherwood is saying that Greg Evans, it was reported it about 4 days ago that Sherwood thinks Guzan is back to being his first choice.
I think so, but what about Mark Bunn? He played both halves against Braga the other day. I thought he was all right. He obviously didn't allow a goal.
Yeah, so I was wondering why he was playing both halves, and then I started thinking about it. I think it was because of the fact that Steer and Watkins?
Watkins. Bradley Watkins.
Yeah, Bradley Watkins played 1 half apiece against Fulham. So Bunn hadn't had a chance to play at all yet. So I think
that's perfectly fine. Get him to work with both sets of players because he's going to be second choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe third.
Yeah, or maybe third. I saw one moment when he chased a ball just outside to the right side of his 18, and it was a little shaky, but he just pumped it long.
Yeah, and then he also had that incredible save in about the 80s.
Oh yeah, that's correct. That's correct. He did have one really. It was a top drawer save that was headed for the upper 90.
Yeah, absolutely, and I like that signing. I like the fact that we brought in, because here's the thing that Sherwood's been doing. He hasn't been afraid to spend money, but it doesn't strike me as if he's needlessly spending money.
And he has the money to spend, and he hasn't been giving out massive wage packets, which is what he needs to make sure he's not going to be allowed to. He's not going to be allowed to, and because of that, they're only targeting players that are realistic targets. But this summer has been weird because we've been linked with really good players.
Yeah, absolutely, which is a strange departure from the Paul Lambert did.
And also you got to think of that EPL money that's coming in from TV.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Alex wrote a little bit earlier in the week, Villa, because of this Benteke sale, are getting sort of an early taste of what it's going to be like to be an EPL member starting next summer.
Yeah, like a year ahead, which, I don't know, that it could be all you need.
Yeah. I was impressed with the Bunn signing, though, because it's a free signing, it doesn't cost much, and he's a decent second-choice keeper. He's also devastatingly handsome, which I don't think we're allowed to have in a backup keeper.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You may not have seen the pictures. Dude is a handsome dude. He may skyrocket to like number 1 or number 2 on the team now.
Yeah, I don't know. Depends who we sign.
Yeah, exactly. And the signings and the people we've been linked to this summer, it really amazes me. Because think, 2 years ago under Paul Lambert, the rumor, the one we couldn't get away from, was Kiyotaka. And now we've already signed players who are leagues ahead of him.
Yeah, or at least at that quality that we thought we were getting. It's like I compare that almost to Carlos Gil, which, I mean, sucks the way that the season ended for him under Sherwood, but at least he's getting a chance now.
And we're getting every indication that he's going to be a major player. I
just remember a tweet from Slakey that was Lambert being forced to deal or to wheel and deal on Bosmans. I'm going to go drink poison or like something like that. Like, we brought in Richardson last year and Senderos.
Mm-hmm. And Joe Cole.
And now we have Jordan Amavi, Idrissa Gueye, and Micah Richards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Richards was great in the friendly the other day.
Yeah, and he shows.
I think he's very similar to Okora.
I would say he looked to be more adept aerially than Okora was.
I agree, but I mean, just based on a guy who is fast.
Yeah, he seems speedy. He seems to have sort of that Kieran Clark in the air ability, the Nathan Baker in the air ability without the head wounds. And he didn't seem afraid at all to get stuck in on set pieces, is one thing that really struck me about him.
Yeah, I think his experience that he gained with Man City and even Fiorentina is very valuable for this team because we still have a very young team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not people were always saying, oh, they need to bring in a senior leader like someone like, no, you don't need to bring an old guy in like Richards has seen it all.
Yeah. I like the fact that he's position flexible, although every indication says he's going to play at center back. He provides that ability to move over to right back.
Yeah, and if we go 3 at the back.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess my biggest problem with him at center back is the fact that he is a significant upgrade over any of our right backs right now. So why not play him there when we've got a decent center back core?
Okora can also play right back.
Can he?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's played it with Denmark.
Huh. I didn't realize that. So okay.
But it's just more players who can play in different positions. It gives you more options.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Amavi, we've addressed the left back thing. I really do wish Sherwood would get a better right back. Use Bakuna as a midfielder and somehow replace Hutton.
Yeah, give Loughton the chance again, I think.
Except for the fact that Loughton is now gone. So
yeah, that's what we wanted earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, give Loughton that chance is what we were looking for. And now that I didn't get that move at all. That is the one.
It makes sense.
Yeah, that's the one sticking point I've had with Sherwood this summer. Which, whatever. You know, if that's my biggest problem.
I did something similar in Football Manager. Someone offered for Loughton, and I put to a price I didn't think they'd match, and they did, and he was gone. I think we could use a right back, but obviously the big thing right now is striker. But let's talk Amavi first. So we've got Richards as our new center back, and then to his left we've now got Jordan Amavi, and you had all sorts of wonderful things to say about Amavi. Yeah, he had the most interceptions in Europe of any player.
So he's got an incredible positional intelligence.
He had his best season last year, and he's just 21.
Yeah, absolutely. He's skillful. He's pacey. He's got a good touch.
I'll read you what's on his Who's Scored page. His strength: dribbling, very strong. Aerial duels, very strong. Ball interception, very strong. Crossing and tackling, strong. Weaknesses, holding on to the ball.
Yeah.
And his style of play, likes to dribble. I don't know if you've seen the YouTube videos. He always looks to beat a man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is risky, but if you're going up against wingers, a lot of the time you're going to be able to do it.
Exactly. And the way we've been seeing Sherwood setting up in friendlies, and the way I think we can expect to see this team this year is those right and left backs are going to have a lot of attacking responsibility.
And they're given a lot of freedom to go up. And especially if we have a defensive midfielder, like either it's going to be Westwood or Gueye, who can draw back like a halfback, split the center backs. If you have 2 pacey center backs, we'll be able to cover it, because look at that high line that Sherwood's played.
Yeah, absolutely. I
think
got
throttled against Southampton and Arsenal, but if you have guys that are fast, you can get away with a little more.
And I think Carlos Sanchez figures to play prominently in that defensive midfield.
Look at what he did against Messi.
Yeah, and against Neymar, he had himself a hell of a Copa.
Yeah.
We saw in him in that Copa, playing for his country. We saw exactly what we wanted to see him doing for Villa, and didn't really get the chance to see him. Maybe with the year under his belt, he becomes a much better performer in the Premier League.
Definitely, and I think it's still Sherwood trying to get the chemistry of his side, just build it. He's still relatively new to Villa.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little part of me that keeps thinking, oh, God, you can't get rid of X, Y, and Z because they've been so important to the team, or they've shown so much potential. Players like Matt Loughton, players like, when we lost Tom Cleverley.
Vyman even.
Or Vyman, yeah, exactly. And so there's that. But the problem is you have to get your head out of that relative way of thinking. that, yeah, they've been really good for Aston Villa, and Aston Villa have been trash for 5 years now. So maybe we need to move beyond being good for Aston Villa and get players who are just good, and that's what Sherwood seems to be doing.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that.
I mean, we were linked with those two guys from Roma.
Yeah, Mattia Destro and Adam Jajic.
Yeah, Jajic. Thank you. I needed someone to pronounce that for me. Destro and Jajic both look like incredible players. I don't know if we get them. But then you've got, why can't I think of his name? From Malaga.
Oh, Sergei Samper?
Thank you, yes.
No, Sergei Darder.
Darder, yeah. And that one looks closer to being done than the others. And so
it does. And yeah, it's really promising. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, exactly. You're seeing improvements everywhere. There isn't a single position on this club where Villa can't improve.
Striker.
Save striker. Yeah, exactly. Although now that we don't have Benteke,
Yeah, from this we can.
Yeah, exactly. A pile of bricks might be an improvement.
And how good is it to see Libor Kozak back in action?
Oh, so good. And the fact that he scored within minutes of coming on against Villan. Yeah. He's one of those players that, in addition to just wanting to see him do well because he's from Villa, I want to see him do well because he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah, and especially what happened to his leg.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
that was tragic. But
who was that? Was that Joe Bennett?
No, Clark.
Clark? Do you think he?
Someone said I hope Fabian Delph gets the Kieran Clark on Kozak treatment. And that was what I couldn't stand about the Delph thing, is people wishing him to get injured.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why you have to go get your money, because if you get injured, you will get no more money.
Yeah, exactly.
He's on 5 years. Cool.
Yeah. I'm okay with wishing him getting booed though. 90 minutes of booing
shit out of him.
Yeah, I've never been more tempted to fly to a match than to just boo that guy. I said on Twitter, I want to know where I can get odds on Fabian Delph getting an injury the day before that match. Because
that's a very cartel thing to bet on.
There's no way he plays, is there?
You never know. You never know. It could be a Champions League fixture build-up around then.
Yeah, that's true.
Or, maybe Yaya doesn't get his birthday cake and he's pouting and sits up.
God, I would be okay with Yaya sitting out. The interesting thing to me is, as important as Delph was to this team, and as much as he is actually a really good player, I don't think he's a Man City quality player. I think he
was absent in December.
Yeah.
He was not mad when he got sent off, and it looked like we were getting relegated.
Yeah, it was.
He picked it up under Sherwood, but he was anonymous at a lot of times.
Fabian Delph is unquestionably an above-average player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if he's as good as we all think, or if
it's like when he plays for England and does unspectacularly, and everyone's like, "Why is Delph in the team?" Get ready for that. Get ready for that this year at Manchester City.
To be fair, literally anyone who plays for England does unspectacularly.
You're right.
No, I mean, they're the U.S. national team of Europe.
Yeah.
Just maybe more disappointing though. All right, what about needs that we have? Obviously, striker. Who do you want to see come in at striker?
Well, we've been linked with just a host of striking options, like you said, Destro, Jajic more an attacking mid, but still someone who could play up there. A lot of guys from, I just saw another one from Club Bruges in the Belgian league. I forgot what his name is, but just the other day, and so I don't know. I think you've got to splash out, like Charlie Austin being linked for 15 million or something. I think that's going to be the right amount.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd really like to see. I don't think we're going to be able to sign Lacazette because he's been linked with Liverpool and Man United, but his buyout clause is 21 million, and that's not too much, especially with all the other money that we're going to have. But I think 10 to 15.
Would you say
maybe bring in. Sorry.
The one position we can't afford to screw up?
Yeah, absolutely.
So is this a position where you're okay overpaying, maybe?
Yeah, definitely okay to overpay as long as you get someone reliable, like Remy from Chelsea. I think that would be an excellent signing as well.
What about Adebayor?
Adebayor, whatever. Sherwood knows him.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things.
Sherwood gets him to play.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate him. I think he was lazy at Spurs, but under Sherwood, he just scored.
Yeah, I try my damnedest to be a really rational writer and thinker about this club. And Adebayor is that one place where I'm just going to say, if Sherwood wants him, I sort of trust Sherwood on this for no particular reason.
No, exactly. Whatever he does to get Adebayor to play well, he obviously does it because he was useless under AVB.
Useless under Pochettino.
Yeah, useless for him.
And great under Sherwood, really bizarrely.
Yeah, and if especially Spurs Manchester City are still paying him.
Yeah.
We realize that.
Yeah. I think the best thing that came out of Adebayor and Sherwood, though, is that saluting picture.
Yeah.
That may be my favorite Sherwood picture in existence. Just his lopsided grin of well, okay, whatever.
I can't even believe this worked. Also.
Yeah, exactly.
But remember, Adebayor has played for Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's a skilled player. I think he's one of those players who just needs the right play. The only thing that I really don't like about Adebayor is he's old.
Yeah. I mean, he's old, but what's a year or two?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you're going to sign someone else too. Because you don't need him to necessarily be the guy. I think if you have Adebayor, Kozak, Callum Robinson, and then you sign someone else, because the way you could go with it is you could spend 15 million on Austin and also bring in Adebayor. But bringing in Adebayor, if you're going to spend, he's got to be on 50K. You think, right? We're going to have to foot.
Oh, at Villa, I think he's on 100 right now, so he'd have to be on 70. I would think.
No, I think someone else is going to subsidize it.
Ah, I see.
I think Spurs will. You're right. Spurs could maybe pay 30. Spurs are cheap.
Yeah. I'm not sure. That's the only thing holding us back because I think all the numbers I've heard around him are somewhere in the 4 million range. Which, sure, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But then the wages are the big issue. Do you want to say hello? We're Aston Villa, and our highest paid player is Emmanuel Adebayor.
No, we don't want to say that, but
I mean, what does that do for team morale?
I mean, if he starts scoring goals, it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then if you are going to sign Adebayor, like you're saying, maybe then you spend 6 million on a young striker, like some guy from the Belgian league, or something, and then you let him play a little bit and try to develop a little bit, not necessarily have to be the guy every game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have wage money to spend. We got rid of Shea Given and his block of cement contract.
If we could somehow get rid of Charles Nzogbia, that would make my summer, I think, from a transfer standpoint. This guy's name is Obi Ulare, I think. It's Obbioulare. And he's 19, he's Belgian. And he plays
we were linked to him?
Yeah, he's valued at 5 million. All
right. Let's play a little game here. You can get rid of one player, Nzogbia or Igbanlahor.
Nzogbia, just because he's on the same amount of wages. And I didn't even mention Gabby when we were talking about strikers.
Yeah. So
apparently I've already cleared him out.
Yeah. So, but you get rid of Nzogbia before you get rid of Gabby.
Yeah, I mean, the club obviously keeps him from a PR standpoint, but
yeah, I honestly wonder which one of those players hurts us more because I don't think either one of them helps us all that much.
No, I don't think so, but
I feel like honestly Gabby will hurt us more this season because with him here, the temptation to use him is stronger, whereas there's lots of opportunities to not use Nzogbia.
Yeah, but we could use Gabby against Norwich though.
No. He'll be successful for 2 matches this season.
What if in the middle of the season Norwich sack their manager and hire Paul Lambert?
Just so Villa can get those 6 points?
Yep.
I could actually see them hiring Lambert again.
You think so?
And him doing really well. Actually, no, I can't see them hiring him because of that giant legal battle. When he left. I forgot about that. So never mind. He left with animosity. No, they won't hire him. ever again. But are there any other needs you think we have to address other than striker?
Oh, well, we could have one at goalkeeper.
All right, so...
But that's only if Brad leaves.
Yeah, and do we think that's going to happen?
Mostly no, because Begovic went to Chelsea.
Yeah. So your number one priority is keeper. Your number one priority is striker. Your number two priority would be...
Yeah, again, maybe attacking midfield.
Another striker, maybe?
Yeah, just because if you're keeping Carlos Heel, though.
Yeah. I saw someone in our Slack room, I think it was Aaron, saying that possibly Sinclair could work as sort of a withdrawn striker. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think so, because he's shown a knack to find the back of the net, especially in the FA Cup.
Yep.
And I don't know, I think so. I think you could use him there. You could try it. Why not try something in a friendly, especially if you go with somewhat of a 3-5-2.
Yeah, something like that. I think that could be interesting. I don't think it's something Sherwood would ever run with as a first choice, but I think it's an interesting backup.
Yeah,
how happy are you that Kieran Richardson left back is now a thing of the past?
Yeah, that's most important. Because
yeah,
who was it that we had? Luis Kinsella. I think if he just gets a couple times on the bench, as long as he doesn't get loaned.
Yeah. I could see Kinsella getting a loan, though, because...
Yeah, I think that'd be the better move.
Because he looks like he's ready to break through. I mean, he keeps making that bench. So get him a loan to a championship side and let him get a season of experience under his belt so that he can come through. He's blocked by Amavi now.
No, yeah, and thankfully. It's good we got rid of Luna.
Yeah. Made me a little sad. I liked Luna.
Yeah, he scored against Arsenal, but...
Yeah, I have a soft spot for the
endeared himself to the fans just from the first go, but then was not good.
Yeah, no, he was not.
But he was in a terrible team.
Yeah, absolutely. But he was one of the weakest parts of that terrible team.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Poor guy.
Yeah, but I think now even with Villar gone at center back, you've just upgraded with Richards.
Mm-hmm.
If Baker can stay somewhat healthy, and then you have Kieran Clark and Akora, who will probably be first choice unless Richards displays as one of them.
Yeah. I actually, from what we've seen, my guess would be Clark and Richards are the first choice.
I think so.
And Akora is number 3.
Yeah.
Again, I think we have a really strong center back core.
Yeah, which is important because everyone's been getting hurt.
Yeah, no shit. Let's see if we can do a year without injuries this year, Villa. I mean, or with limited injuries, obviously.
Yeah, limited significant injuries to our best players.
God, how many years is this in a row? Like 5 years in a row of that crap happening.
Yeah, just at the worst times, but.
Yep. What about moving on from transfer talk to larger transfer talk? What about that failed takeover of the club?
Yeah, the takeover bid, I guess. Like you mentioned, they did enter into exclusivity talks, but I don't know. We kept seeing this transfer or this sale of the club popping up, and only at international breaks. Yeah,
it seemed to be like boring news time stuff.
It's like, oh, we have this on the back burner. Let's run it today.
Yeah. Although that said, this one was far more concrete than the previous rumors. This was
yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I mean is that there was something substantial to it, maybe.
Something actually happened. That said, it doesn't look like anything's happening. It looks like Lerner's around for at least another year.
Yeah, maybe he changed his mind.
Are you convinced with this summer that he's willing to put in the money necessary to make this a winning club again?
I think so. Maybe just because we got a new sporting director.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about that. We need to talk about that. He starts his job today.
Yeah, and I mentioned it in my piece about Delph, but him, Tom Fox, Lerner, and even Sherwood have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hendrik Almstadt is his name.
Well, welcome to the club, Mr. Almstadt. Do us well. Sporting director at 40 years old.
Yeah.
What an accomplishment. But I think that should be nice because even though Sherwood has done a really nice job in the transfer window, this lets him focus on what he's really good at, which is managing his players.
Yeah, and no offense, but I was really happy that this guy wasn't English.
Yeah, I can see that.
Sherwood has shown a knack of liking a lot of English players, but then again, he's gone out and bought some non-English players.
I was going to say, two of the three players he's bought recently have been non-English.
Yeah, but I mean,
Two of the
just
four.
like exiling Heel and
yeah. I do wonder now that we've seen him back and him praising Hill so much, if it was just a matter of he didn't think Hill was aggressive enough, strong enough, big enough, something along those lines.
I'm sure Hill has something to prove this summer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Either I'm going to put myself in the shop window and get out, or I'm going to be in this team.
Yeah, and he's looked incredible in friendly. He has been far and away the best player we've had.
Yeah, he was like I said earlier. Let's talk about that friendly a little bit, because he was linking up with Gabby really well. It's just switching the play, dictating the game, and dribbling through three defenders at times.
Yeah, absolutely. His ball control is just absolutely stunning.
Yeah, and I really want to see him alongside Grealish in attacking midfield, maybe Heel on the right, or both of them a little more centrally. And then, I don't know, you stick Sinclair or somebody.
Given the fact that both Hill and Grealish can sort of move to both sides of the field, they could be a horrifying pair for defenses to face if you put them both sort of centrally in theory, but let them do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, just give them both freedom to roam, and then behind them, if you have Idrissa Gueye and Carlos Sanchez, to just axe people.
I was about to say and Fabian Delph, and then I remembered.
Yeah, and Westwood even. If you could play 4-3-2-1.
Yeah.
If the thing is, you just need a reliable striker, otherwise they can totally focus on Grealish and Heel.
Yeah. I'm really excited for a lot of the possibilities this year. I think overall, assuming we get a half-decent striker in, as this team, or even not that, just literally as this team stands right now, with Benteke still in it and Delph gone and everything else that's happened, I think this is an improved team from what we saw at the FA Cup.
Oh, I think it's hard to argue that it wouldn't be.
You've improved at left back. You've improved at center back. You've done a like for like in the middle. You've added some goalkeeping depth that isn't Shea given. And currently you have Christian Benteke, and if you don't have him, you're probably going to spend at least enough to get a decent striker to replace him. I think that's overall improvement. You've got Libor Kozak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Libor Kozak as a replacement for Andy Vyman, which is essentially what we could look at that as. That is a huge upgrade.
Yeah, granted, some of these guys on the team not proven yet in a Villa shirt, but
yeah, absolutely.
It's just a matter of time.
Just on paper,
the squad just has to gel, and as long as we can, for the most part, finish our transfer business in the next week to 10 days. Maybe you look to bring in a piece later on, just at the end of the summer. But if you can get that sorted and just start to get everyone gelling, I think we're in a really good spot.
Yeah, absolutely. This team has improved already. Not by a huge margin, but the potential is there for it to improve by a huge margin before the summer is out.
No, and last year the team underachieved.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the past couple years, and really we probably should have finished 12th or 13th.
Mm-hmm. And I think with Sherwood, we're probably going to see more of the same as what we saw this past few months. We're going to see wins that we don't expect. We're going to see good wins, and then we're going to see a few ugly losses. Because given the way Sherwood plays, I think that's bound to happen.
Yeah, but maybe sometimes we can hang on for some draws.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you can improve the squad, a little smarter and more ability defensive wise, and then if you can get somebody who can nab a goal for you.
Yeah, let's make ourselves.
Our striker's going to need to score at least 10 goals.
Yep. Absolutely. Let's make ourselves look really stupid right now, because 9 months from now we're both going to look like idiots. But just right now, taking your best guess at what's going to happen, where do Villa finish this year?
I'll just say 10th.
10th? I was going to say 11th. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere right in that 8 to 12 range.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't see Leicester finishing above us again. None of the three promoted teams, so that's already got you to 16th.
I don't know. Leicester has a new manager and all.
Yeah.
Does that worry you at all?
No, not really, because I think that was just a terrible situation at that club.
Yeah, it was. I'm not sure how they survived.
Yeah, me neither. But
that was an incredible feat.
Yeah, and I don't know. If you can finish 10th mid-table, that's fine. I'm not sure there'll be a cup run this year, but maybe they'll decide that they want one just because Sherwood's shown that ability.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then okay, sorry. So other teams I was thinking of like West Brom and West Ham, and then and then you have Sunderland. So basically, you edge out Stoke, and then maybe Palace, and you're in the top half.
Do you think Villa break 40 this year?
Oh, yeah. I think the goal should be 50.
50? Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. God, I honestly would feel like a victory if we hit 42.
Well, get some champagne ready. We're popping it at in March.
Yeah.
We hit 42 in March.
I'm okay with that.
So...
Surprise me, Villa.
Yeah, I mean, I think all we got left is we're just looking at transfers incoming, but that's still not going to come for a while. And I think, we'll try to come back next week?
Yeah, if we can, we'll be back next week. We'll definitely be back before the season starts. We can assure you that.
And with a guest.
Yeah, we were supposed to have Sam Ty today, but we got a little mixed up. He got delayed getting home from an event, so we're going to see if we can't get him next week or sometime soon. We're just excited to have Sam back on because, if you don't know, Sam is one of the better journalists out there and a great writer and a good friend of the blog.
Yeah, read his Grealish piece on Bleacher Report.
Yes, it was incredible. He wrote a wonderful piece on Grealish this year. But yeah, just go check out Sam's stuff, and he will be on as soon as we can get our schedules all worked out.
Yeah, so want to thank you for coming back, checking out the whole cast. I know it's been a busy time around Villa and 7500, so been happy that you guys broke another record for most page views in a day, Robert.
Yeah, I'm excited, and thank you to everyone for stopping by and reading that Delph coverage. And that was an intense day, and I was glad that people, seemed to get something out of it. So thanks all for stopping by.
Yeah, and remember for everything latest around Aston Villa, always check out 7500tohold.com, our Twitter page, Facebook. Thanks for interacting with us there as well. And remember, you can follow us on Stitcher and as well as YouTube and, of course, Blog Talk Radio. So until next time, for the whole cast and Robert Lintott, I've been Jack Grimsey. Thanks for watching.